Hi and welcome back to another video. What we're going to do today is change the battery in this PS3 controller. It's one I've had lying about for a while. It's in good condition, not a lot of wear to it. I went to charging, it's dead. I left it charging for a while, so I presume the batteries just went on it. So I bought this little battery kit here, and we're just going to change the battery out on it. These are easy to come by. I'll put a link in the description below about this. So what we'll do now is we'll take the controller apart. It's hopefully quite straightforward. I've never done this before. A handy little screwdriver kit here. So it's just a case of removing the screws. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws on the case. Just been very careful to choose the right bit and not chew the screws, because I've done that before and it makes an easy job a lot harder. So with all them out, I'll use my opening tool and just gently prise it apart. As you can see, it's not taking much force. I'm just putting the prising tool in between the plastic and it just comes away. There's a little clip there. I just pushed that down, it popped out. There we are. So we just lift that off like so. We'll just take the battery out of its packaging. And we've got a charging cable there too, which is handy. So now we've opened it, what we want to do is take this battery out. We'll pull it up. As you can see, some of these buttons have come off, but we'll sort that out when we're putting it back together. So what I'm going to do here is pull the little connector out here, but I don't want to be too tough with it, otherwise I might pull the actual connectors attached to the board off. So what I'm going to do is just hold that down and gently pull on the battery connector. There we are, and that's just popped out like so. Again, you don't want to put too much force on that. Either you can pull that off or pull the wires out there. Not that that will really matter, but it will just give you more of a problem trying to get that out. So that's come out reasonably easy. And now we want to put the new battery in, which is quite a simple case of just plugging the connector into that bit. as you can see there's a little notch, and you can see a little notch on top of the connector if that goes into focus. So we want to just line that up and push it in. So once it's ready to go, just push it in like so. That's it there, nice connection. And we'll just put the battery in its place. There's a slight difference between these two batteries. The one that came out, it's got little clips on it to hold it in place, whereas this one doesn't have that. Though it is a bit of a slimmer, slightly slimmer. So just set that in place. Place like so. Before we do that, we'll put the buttons back in place that popped off. They all seem to be coming off now. To put those little buttons in, it's just a case of pushing them in like that and sliding them under that little ridge there, and then pushing them down. This one here's got a spring on it. So I had to go away there and just take my time trying to get the triggers back on. Very tricky to do, but there is a wee knack to it. So that one's okay. Just need to do the same with this one. So okay, that part of this, the top part of the spring's inside the little ridge of the button, like I showed you. And if you can, I'll try and zoom in as best as I can. You can see the other part of the spring resting against the white plastic there. So what we want to do once it's flat is just push it down, and it should clip into the little ridges it sits on. It should. There we are. As you can see, it's springing back and forth. That's what we want. So hold the battery there. I'm just going to push these wires down so they sit properly. Going to bend them into place. So with the battery in place, now we're going to put the lid of the controller back on. Just want to be careful not to interfere with those buttons again. Just click it into place. See the battery down here's popped out. There we are. Make sure your buttons are not sticking. So what we'll do now before it all pops apart is get the screws back in it. When we're putting the screws back in, don't over tighten it, because sometimes you can actually crack the parts the screw go into, and that'll cause a big problem. So just kind of screw them hand tight. Don't force them. Once it's tight, that's it, just leave it. So there we are. All tight, trigger buttons are working. As you can see, the pad has now got power. So that's how we change the battery in a PS3 controller. Quite a simple process. The only part that's a bit of a struggle is the trigger buttons at the top, lining up the little spring, but once you go over that, it's very simple to do. So thanks again for watching. Hopefully this helps some of you out, and I'll see you again for another one soon. Cheers, bye bye.